How many of you still believe you need to review your employees' performance? I am here to tell you that the performance reviews of old are dead. You need to rethink the important discussion that needs to take place in a very different way. Most of our clients do what's traditional. They conduct a yearly performance review and they tell the employees how they thought they did the year past and what their goals need to be for the preceding year. Today's employee wants to have input and direction in their career. Many clients tell me that their younger workers want to be promoted way too early. This can be viewed as a bad thing, but actually, it's really a good thing. Career pathing has become the new norm in performance reviews. It begins with the employee giving their feedback. Here's what we suggest you ask. What was the most significant learning you had this past year? What do you deem your greatest accomplishment to be? What areas do you want to focus on improving in the upcoming year? What are your career goals this year, 3 to 5 years, and then ultimately, where do you want to see yourself within our organization? And then what competencies do you need to learn, train, educate yourself to make sure you make your goals? Then the two of you get together and the supervisor has dialogue. It isn't, here's what you did well, here's what you didn't do well, but it's open dialogue around how the employee answered these questions. The supervisor will talk about ways that they can assist the employee in making their goals. So while the employee is filling this out, the supervisor does have some homework, but your homework is really built around soft skills and values alignment. So you will assess from your core values that you've established in the guiding principles and acceptable behaviors, how is that employee matching up? Are they, like for example, a couple of ours are mental toughness, ability to work well within a team, those sort of things. So we'll evaluate how are they doing against those values. Why we love this is because it helps us to put together for our clients 2 programs that we think have absolutely been life-changing for our clients. One is it helps you to define your high potential employees. Those employees that have things they need to learn, they have skills they need to learn, they maybe have to get some certifications, they maybe have to go back to school, but they have a lot of potential to be very successful leaders through the course of time. Then the second group we identify is that high performing. Now, most of us think we know our high performing, but when you actually go through the exercise of having an open-ended dialogue conversation with the employee and you evaluate their soft skills, it's amazing how some people that maybe you didn't think were on that list will rise to the top. So once we've identified those 2 core groups, we have what we call innovation summits. And it's some of the work that we most enjoy because it actually gives your employees a voice. I will tell you, in my 20 years of doing this, every employee is the same. They want to feel worthwhile, they want to feel significant, and they want to be motivated. So a great way to do this is through innovation summits. They're half-day workshops, retreats. The first group is your high potential. And we work on 2 things that are really, really important for leadership: critical thinking skills and problem solving. And we make them specific to the business, so the problems they're working on are very specific to issues that you're having within your organization today, and the same thing with some of the critical thinking skills. The high-performing group does strategy. And sometimes it's things that you're too close to when you go off-site and you do your strategy. You know, they can come up with ideas that maybe because they haven't been in the sessions for years, they can come up with some great ideas. I will tell you, some of my clients have said some of the best ideas their companies have ever had came out of those innovation summits. But it's more than that. What we have found is people who you never ask now have a voice, and they feel significant and worthwhile within your organization. I will tell you, we had a client not very long ago that had an engineer in the room, and that person never really even talks, much less had said much. In this innovation summit, not only was he had great ideas, but he actually ended up being a facilitator and presenting their ideas. And at the end, the supervisor walked up and said, "Why didn't you share these ideas with us before?" And you know what he said? because I've never been asked. How many people do you have inside your organization that have never been asked for their ideas? Again, they want to feel significant, worthwhile, and motivated. When recruiters call organizations like myself, I could tell you which organizations do career pathing and which ones don't. Because if they don't know their path within your organization, if we call and offer them a path, they're going to be intrigued and they're going to listen. If they already know that they have the same path inside the doors of which they live today, they are much less likely to take our call or to listen to that next best thing. So I can't encourage you enough to make sure that you give your employees a voice and that you give them the ability to mold their career they want to see. Now, you're not going to have promotions available all the time, but they go on the list once they accomplish the goals. And then as soon as that promotion becomes available, their first step, because they've accomplished all the things that you two agreed to. It's a fabulous way to do performance reviews, and it's a great way to motivate the new millennials. Again, stay tuned. We've got lots of videos coming up in the near future for you, all based on what we're seeing as challenges within the workplace and opportunities that we have to make all of our workers excited about being with you every day. If you have any questions about any of this information, feel free to email me at sharon@ergsearch.com. And thanks again for listening.